He was so far away that in my head I said, as long as I can just see him.
You start changing your expectations.
Quickly.
Welcome to the Created to Be podcast. We are back for another week. The table is a little bit sparse today. We've got Justin.
Yo.
And Darius.
Yes, ma'am.
And no guest or no Brandy, but we're going to try to bring you a good show. Right?
Yeah, we're gonna try to bring you a good show. We're gonna miss Brandy, but I think we can make it work at least 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week. So we had a great time with Mary Ashley. We actually split the podcast up into 2 episodes because we had such a great conversation with her as she is approaching her wedding in July. That was a lot of fun. And we talked about marriage advice, best and worst marriage advice. Which is really funny because she actually heard the happy wife, happy life advice shortly after our podcast.
Wow.
So it was really funny timing. And then we actually created a video of her that will be posted, that has been posted by the time this comes out, of her engagement story. So when she explains how she walked away with the Red Bull and put it down and left Jacob there, you'll be able to see it. So make sure to look out for that. And then
she just straight up left.
Yeah, it's so funny. She just had this shock and then walked away. It was so funny.
I probably would have got up because I was been like.
Well, she did say that he was on one knee. Actually, in the video, he stood the whole time until she turned back around. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I would have been like, let me get up.
Yeah.
It's like I'm on one knee and then she just walks off with no explanation. I would have been like.
It would have been great if she just saw that and just pounded the Red Bull and threw it off to the side.
Now that would have been nice.
Yeah, so the video is you'll see that it's different than what she probably, remembered, but it's still funny. It's still good. Yeah. So I'm thankful that she shared that with me because, I was like, we gotta get the listeners to see what happened, and she had it on video, so why not? And then I just wanted to mention that we had someone reach out to write a review of our podcast, which was very kind and generous of them. And so that is also on our bio on our Instagram that we have now called Created to Be Podcast. If you're not already following that has more specific moments to the podcast and is a place where we can post things as we do things here that we might not always can post on Hail State FCA. So we're creating a different place for all that to live. And anyways, the podcast review was really encouraging to me because we are trying to create a specific type of experience for listeners. And I was really encouraged that someone who doesn't know us personally wrote in such a way that described this podcast as I feel like what we're going for.
Right. And it was very detailed.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. I was like, that's us.
That's us. Are we sure that's us?
It was very detailed, very insightful. But like you said, it was good to have somebody outside of us that could speak about the things that we're doing in such a positive and real way. So, I really enjoyed it. It was a great read. I would encourage everybody to just go and read it.
Yeah.
Because it'll give you a lot of insight on who we are and even some of the things we've been pushing to accomplish. So.
Yeah. And he said in one of the email exchanges, he said, I think your message it's important to get out, what you're doing. So I was like, wow. Oh, well, cool. Thanks. Today is going to be a little bit different because typically we have maybe a little bit of a more, not serious, but, spiritual formation topic or something like that. But we have said over and over multiple times, come on, guys, submit some comments. And so we're going to try to be playful with some comments because Brad Smith came through.
Okay.
He was listening to the podcast and I knew he would. That's why we called him out. And he submitted some pretty great stories. And so we're going to rehash those things because Brad took the time to comment. But also, I just want people to kind of get a feel for how they can engage with this podcast. So hopefully we honor Brad with how we commentate through these comments today. But anyways, that's going to be really fun. But first, we're going to do the stretch. And the stretch topic today is some unfamiliar sports terminology. So I feel like, Justin, I know you've got to leave here in a little bit, but you're going to be included on this because I feel like you're probably going to know several of these. Darius, I don't know. It's a big question mark to me.
Let's see.
But some of the stuff, you surprised me because you're way more in the sports where both of y'all are. So I asked you not to look at the show notes because I want these to be raw answers, okay? But this is what happened. We were on our way to the SEC tournament in Hoover to watch our baseball team play Georgia, and the game time got changed. We were going to be on time, 3 p.m., but because of the weather, they moved the game up to noon. Thankfully, I happened to see it, so we just went for it. We're like, we got to leave like now, but we knew we weren't going to get there until literally, I think we walked up, 6th inning or something?
Yeah, it was like 1:30.
Finally get to the stadium, and the game started at noon. So anyway, on the way, we were listening to the game, and the announcer said something about the catcher for Georgia was going to possibly hit, I don't know how they worded it, the Triple Crown or have a Triple Crown. And I was like, Triple Crown? That's horses. What are we talking about? Do you know this term?
I have heard of the Triple Crown.
For baseball?
For baseball.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is. I think it's, is it where you get on the first, second, and third base?
No.
No.
Okay, no, I don't know.
That's a good guess. Good guess. Justin, what is the Triple Crown? I had to ask Justin.
I know another one, but you may bring it up, so I don't want to say.
Yeah.
Well, you might be referring more to the cycle.
See?
Cycle.
See?
You
Cycle
hit
is when
for
you
a
get
cycle.
a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the
same game.
Yes.
See, okay.
You got it.
I'm close.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you weren't close, but that was a whole different thing. The Triple Crown is whoever leads the season, the regular season, in batting average, home runs, and RBIs.
The whole season.
Oh,
The whole season.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and this guy, Daniel Jackson, I think is the one that is. I don't know how close he got. I don't know the results, but he was very close to getting it. We had two in Mississippi State history. It was Rafael Palmeiro and Brent Rooker. And that's why we have a Triple Crown club down at the base of
all the
Dewey
dots
Noble.
started connecting for me. I was like, I've always wondered why that's called that.
Yeah, Triple Crown,
No
that
idea.
makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a whole lot. Kind of like horse racing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
imagine so. You said leader in batting average, home runs, and RBIs.
It's crazy.
Well, most of the time, if somebody leading in home runs and RBIs, I mean, if they're leading in home runs, they're probably going to be leading in RBIs. But the batting average,
Yeah, they're swinging out of their shoes.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
most likely not going to have the greatest bat. Ever.
yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking. So to have all three, that's yeah. I remember Brent Rooker. I used to feel like every time he came to the plate, we finna get a home run. I just felt like that, you know.
He had quite a career.
Okay, well, you were right. Cycle is on here, hitting for the cycle. So good job. What about can of corn? I know Justin knows this one.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's just
don't
a
have-
routine play.
Routine play.
A routine play, like just.
I don't understand.
easy.
Like,
Can
why
of
do you
corn.
why do you call it can of
That's
corn?
what I was finna say. What is the?
Oh god, I don't know. That's that might be something Scott Nicholson may know. So these phrases come from just a long time ago, years ago, probably.
Can of corn. And see, I don't feel like this is fair, Bethany, because I don't know
got
much
other
about
sports.
baseball.
I got other sports.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know much about baseball.
We're starting with this one, but
okay. See, we coming in hot with baseball.
we're coming in hot because that was where my brain started with this idea. I was like, what?
But I will say this: I know sports. I look at sports a lot, but I haven't met many people like Justin. Like because a lot of people love talking sports, but they don't really know it.
He has
but
special.
Justin, he really does. I'm giving him
I have
his
a
credit.
knack for remembering things that don't need to be remembered.
Look, we'll talk about moments in our marriage or life, and like he can't remember, but then he can remember pitch counts against certain
wow.
guys.
What a low. Jeez. All right, next one. Next one, please.
Okay, so Justin, you also mentioned this one. I'm pretty sure when I brought this up when we were at the hotel, I was like, I don't understand this whole Triple Crown thing. Like, what is it? And you said golden sombrero.
A golden sombrero.
Can you guess? This is baseball. This is really hard to guess.
Start with the hat trick.
Hat
Start
trick.
with the hat trick.
But I thought hat trick was for soccer.
Well, it's a few things.
Did you say hockey?
Hockey, yes.
It has a hat trick.
Yes.
Come on, Darius. Yes.
Come on, see, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like, okay, let's
So
go.
a lot at the hockey rink, people would throw hats on the rink, and actually, I think in Detroit they had this weird thing where they would throw like squids.
Yeah, something.
What?
Yeah.
Like real thing?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
it was
like,
gross.
ugh.
But no, hat trick is 3 goals in a game. All right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Soccer, hockey, is a big deal. Hat trick in baseball is 3 strikeouts. A hitter getting a hat trick is not a good thing in baseball.
So wait.
So so you're saying the hat trick is not necessarily for the pitcher, but for the batter.
Yeah, it could just go anywhere. I'm sure there's other sports too that have something that happens 3 times, whether it's a goal,
to
a
one
score,
batter,
or whatever it may be. I don't know. You can use hat trick probably as like a universal something that happens.
But he's
3
asking,
times.
which is my question: if you were to pitch and you just have 3 strikeouts in a game, it's about against the same guy.
No, same person. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize that we talked about hat trick in baseball. Whenever we had the
I'm
hotel.
learning some stuff.
I mean, bowling 3 strikes in a row is turkey. So
I know what in the world.
Mix it up.
Okay, but golden sombrero you mentioned
It's 4 strikeouts. That's not a good day.
Against
Somebody
one person?
goes 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, but golden sombrero, like who comes up with that?
And then it's almost like a positive name for such a negative outcome, like golden sombrero. You would think that's good because I'm thinking about the Golden Glove.
Yeah,
See, so I'm thinking
like
positive. Yeah, but it's like you got a golden sombrero.
Well, you think of a sombrero, man. It's it's a nice hat.
That's a nice. Have you ever been at a Mexican restaurant and had to wear one of those? Some of my friends did that to me at a restaurant, and they came and they put the whipped cream in my face.
No, I've never had that.
I didn't really enjoy that. Just have to grin and bear it.
I think most people feel like you feel. Yeah, it's almost like unexpected.
Right?
They don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but side note, like a little like asterisk here. We'll come back. But like, how does somebody make these things a thing? Like can of corn, golden. Like, how do they stick?
It's probably sometimes these games get broadcast, and sometimes phrases just stick, and then things become popular.
Because I'm going on a major rabbit trail here, but
or
before
coaches say things over, and it just travels from place to place.
Yeah,
phrases and things.
Well, before we started the podcast, Darius, you mentioned you were talking to your students in youth group about aura.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I was just talking to my kids about this. And I still don't understand, so I'm not going to pretend to on this podcast.
Me either.
But I was trying to explain to Eli because he was explaining it. I was like, look, you just need to forget all of this. Like, if you have some kind of coolness about you, then you need to set the standard for what's cool. He's like, Mom, it doesn't work like that. But I was like, but someone does. That's my point in connecting it to this conversation is at some point.
It has to originate from somewhere.
Right. Why don't you just do something and just own it, But yeah, golden sombrero. I don't get this. I don't know if you've heard this one.
That's probably not official, but.
What?
Is it official?
Yeah, it was on here.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how you say this. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's spelled Tootblan. So
Tootblan.
I don't know if that's what you say. Thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop.
I'd never heard of that.
What in the world is that? No, you haven't heard that one?
Google digging right there.
Okay. Immaculate inning you mentioned.
Yeah, immaculate inning. So it's 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts. Only 9 pitches that you didn't throw a ball. And,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I was when you said an immaculate inning, I was going to think where all of the hitters, you go through the whole batting order. I was thinking immaculate in that aspect. But, I mean, it's it's not that, but it's on the pitcher. So
that happened in the same inning. I've done that before. That's a dumpster fire. That gets you pulled out of the game.
That's called dumpster fire when you go through the whole lineup.
Yeah. And you know what? Even if it's us that's playing somebody, I just feel bad for the other pitcher. Because it's it's so isolated, and it's almost like nothing you can do right.
Yeah.
It's just like a snowball.
It's really rough to watch.
It is.
Whenever I said I wouldn't date a baseball player and ended up dating Justin, I didn't realize if you're going to date a baseball player, maybe don't date a pitcher.
She was stepping into my misery.
That was the most stressful position as a girlfriend. If you had...
Oh, so you saw him pitch?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I went to so many games, Darius. Oh, yeah. I did not know. But it's
I had my best season ever when we started dating. So
favor.
Is there a connection? But yeah, it's very stressful. Okay, this other one, I feel like maybe you told me this because I don't have a note on it. Do you know what clean sheet is? Am I gonna have to Google this? I don't have a definition.
Clean sheet. I mean, maybe it's just the inning is a clean sheet of the inning. There's no hits, no runs, no errors.
Oh, okay.
Type deal. Clean sheet.
Okay.
I think that may be it.
Okay. I'll have to come back to that one.
No walks,
Okay. Unfortunately, the basketball ones I feel like are pretty easy. So I don't know. Do you know any offhand that are specific terms?
I would have to hear it before.
Okay. I mean, because y'all are going to know this. I mean, heat check.
Somebody, they just come and pull from anywhere because they've been
Anywhere.
They've made 2 or 3 in a row, just throwing the ball and shoot it.
So if you're
50
not,
feet.
if you're not a basketball fan and you're watching some guy who's made say 2 or 3 shots in a row, just jack up a crazy shot.
Steph Curry.
It's a heat check.
It's a normal.
It's like NBA Jam, Darius.
NBA Jam.
Come on, he's on fire.
He's on fire.
And they just jump from the other side of the court to dunk
and dunk it.
What about when they say it's a dagger?
Yes. So it's like the game is you hit a shot that basically puts the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dagger. It's like after this shot is over.
The night.
Yeah.
The night. I like
that. A
lot
of Steph Curry references right now.
Yeah, that's funny. What about, I've never heard this used, a hockey assist?
Yes. So a hockey assist would be like, all right, if I'm coming down the center of the court, but it's a guy in the corner, I pass it to the wing, and the guy on the wing passes it to the guy in the corner. With me starting it off, it would be a hockey assist for me.
Have you ever heard that in basketball?
Well, a hockey assist, you can get 2 assists in hockey. So it's multiple passes that get to the goal.
See, I never come on, man.
So you can have, that's why it's a double. So you always have the person
if
who
you could only
one.
see us clapping.
If you have a typical assist just from the point guard to the scorer or whatever. But
it's the assist before the assist.
Yeah, the assist before the assist. So you can get 2 assists.
All right, what about the 6th man?
Yeah, the first person off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a pretty honorable position. A lot of times that person is
so much so that they have the 6th man of the year award. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say this. When I played in high school, the teams that had a great 6th man, most of the time would be really good teams. And some of the what amazed me is some of the players that I saw in that 6th man role, they would be better off the bench.
Yes.
Like if you started them, it's like it's not the same. It's like something about them watching the game, and then when they get in, it's like I don't know what it was, but it's if you can embrace that role, man.
I think it's an advantage for sure. Like what you said, you get to kind of take the game in and then come in
and see what's what.
Yeah.
Well, and you come in fresh against some starters that are not too, and then you can get a good start. And bench points win a lot of games.
All right. What about in football, pancake block?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all are so funny. I've never heard some of these things.
Pancake, you flatten someone like a pancake, right? So when a O lineman gets a defensive tackle or defensive end or linebacker on the ground, and flattens them, it's a pancake block, and it's a pretty why can't I think embarrassing time deal. It's like as a defensive player, that's it's he'll just sit on you, just like lay on you.
Yeah, it's almost like being made to look like a little kid.
Yeah.
Especially when you're supposed to be mean and macho on defense, and then you just get flattened.
And what's big time is when the lineman's so good that they can actually flatten you and then get up and go flatten somebody else.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And there's some that are pretty amazing.
Can do that?
Yeah.
What about yak? It stands for something.
Yes, yards after catch.
Let's go, Darius. Let's go.
The yak,
So that's pretty self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. What about the tush push?
Oh boy, the tush push.
I don't like it.
Is this controversial?
Yeah.
They've been trying. A lot of coaches have been trying to get it changed,
and I think they should, because it's not. I don't feel like it's.
So explain what it is.
So it's like a quarterback sneak. Would you say that? Like
it's a quarterback sneak with a running back coming behind him to push, but it's also the way they set their formation. The linemen get really close and do it like a different, like just a formation that's just you can't get through.
Right.
And they stay really, really low, and
it's
they
almost
just push. You can get it's a QB sneak on steroids.
Yeah.
With extra pushing from all kinds of areas.
And it's like he said, it's such an advantage for the offense because they know when they're going to say HUD. So the lineman can get lower.
Yeah.
The defense is more reactive, but you kind of trying to not jump offside. So you're anticipating while they are instigating.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't like it. Me personally, I don't.
It also causes some injuries too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so and then I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So the Eagles, they always do it.
They do this. All right, so I went ahead and looked up clean sheet, and Justin was pretty close. It can mean what he described, that a pitcher gets through an inning without allowing any hits or walks, but it also is kind of the same thing as a shutout, which means the opposing team is prevented from scoring any runs for the entire game.
So gotcha. So it's not just inning based,
right?
It's
it could be synonymous to what they call a shutout.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, he got that,
which is a great. I'm just gonna say this: when people do a shutout or a no hitter, I like that is so amazing to me because I'm trying to figure out the level of concentration.
That's a good point.
That you have to have for all of those innings, and then you play the whole time, and you can. I don't know if you ever saw a shutout happening or a no hitter happening, but as they get closer to the end of the game, it's like the pressure starts mounting where you almost like, come on, we just 3 more outs. And I think I can't remember who it was, but I saw a game one time and they got to the last inning and somebody got a base hit and it was like,
I know, you're like, no.
It's like taking the air out of a balloon. It's like we've been waiting on this. Like, why you mess it up? Like,
well, Justin had to dip out, so we can't get his feedback on this, but I don't know if he ever threw anything like that. So we'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah, we will.
But I will say, I'm pretty sure, now again, details, he can remember these details amazingly, and I'm over here like, I think this is what happened. So just take this for what it is, and if I get it wrong, we'll correct it on the next episode. But Justin, I think it was against Florida. I want to say he threw a complete game in 89 pitches.
89 pitches?
Yes. I know it was under 100.
He was cooking.
Yeah, so I don't know what the other details were though. Like I don't know. Maybe they scored. Like I don't know if it was, I don't know what the score was. But I mean the under 100 pitches, complete game.
For a complete game.
I mean you hardly see anyone throw complete games anymore in baseball.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was pretty crazy. But then the other thing I was going to say about the shutout is that our girls are, by the time this comes out, we'll see how they did. They're going to be playing this weekend that we're recording. So it's always weird when we put the episode out the next week. But our softball team is in the World Series. And when they played the Super Regionals in Norman, which we were talking about before we got on today, Delaney Everett, she threw a shutout against Oklahoma, which is like, I mean, they have like, I want to say the most home run hitters. I mean, they are a powerhouse of players that hit like crazy. So for her to shut them down was unbelievable.
They literally, I haven't watched softball as much, but being around sports, Oklahoma women are softball. They all.
I mean, did you watch that game on the outfield? They have all of their, like national championship this year. I mean, like many just pasted on the outfield fence. You're that game was reminiscent to when our women beat UConn. I said that. I commented somewhere on Facebook.
It was very reminiscent of that because when they showed that graphic that we had never made the World Series for the softball and that they had made it every year since 2015.
Right.
And we were able to dethrone them. Then this is when I knew it was crazy. When the announcer said, now she's finna face the 20 home run club. And you had like 3 to 4 girls who had at least 20 home runs.
That's
back
crazy.
I said, they just hit a home run. I said, and so you could see, and it's intimidating. Like when they come up, they look like home run hitters.
Right.
And she was able to shut them out. Like you can't write that up any better.
I think that I've said before, but we were able to go to that game when Morgan William hit that shot versus UConn.
You were there?
I was there up in the rafters, but I was there.
I know that was sweet.
It was the most electric moment. I've never experienced something like that where it's silent, it's intense, and then this moment of just
wow
elation. Like, I mean, even my dad, he was there, and I'm like, Dad, I've never seen you so excited. Like, it was just it was a crazy, crazy moment. And so that's what I was thinking of whenever they beat them.
Yeah. This is an ironic moment. I had sung in Starkville that night. And so I wasn't able to watch the game. Me and my mom were leaving together. And I was like, put the game on. Because, look, and when we put it on, they were in the timeout right before the shot.
Oh, man.
And when she hit that shot, we almost wrecked. Because I couldn't believe, like, when she hit us, like, I almost lost control of because I could not believe. I'm like, they really beat UConn, because like you said, at the time, UConn hadn't lost a game.
And I think the year before, again, it would be great to have Justin comment on this because he remembers this stuff. But I think the year before we lost to UConn by like 40, 50, 60. I don't know.
Yep. We got blowed out very bad.
Like the fact that we came back and
there's no better way to do it than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the Final Four hadn't been in Dallas, but we had just moved back to Texas like that year or year before. Anyways,
okay, gotcha.
So we were around, and so it was very cool to be able to, like, we actually went to Oklahoma City to watch them play against Baylor, I think, because Kim Mulkey was there at the time.
Yeah.
We watched them in the Elite Eight, and then we were like, we got to go to the Final Four.
Man.
It was so cool. I got to take Abby. I don't know if she remembers it. She was like 5.
Wow.
And then my family went.
That's a great experience.
Yeah, it was great. But I was getting those feels when I was like, man, something about these women's sports at Mississippi State.
Man.
Like, it's like, we're not gonna like beat the powerhouses like at these critical moments. I don't know, break these streaks. This is crazy.
I wouldn't want to see us in women's sports right now.
Yeah.
In any tournament fashion, because we have had the favor on our side. Because when I was watching that game Sunday, I'm like, this is really happening.
Yeah.
This is really happening.
It's not like just, upsets happen.
Right.
But like the type of upset, like the storyline, David versus Goliath type upsets, for it to happen twice like that.
And I got a new phrase: an underdog is still a dog.
Oh yeah.
Hey, when I heard that I was like,
good.
I was like, we got another one.
That was
we got to
good.
use that one.
I love that. Well, okay, we're gonna transition into these comments, and these do all come from Brad Smith. So, Brad, this is your episode. Congratulations.
Let's go, Brad.
I know. So one of the things, we'll start with like what we talked about last week, and then because these are kind of over the past couple of weeks, but we keep bringing up this whole like tick thing, and Brad said that his son actually is like finding out if he can still eat red meat or not.
Oh, he got bit by a tick?
I guess. We need more of the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was just commenting. He was like, Abby's right.
No, yeah.
Like this is a...
I didn't believe it. Like if I wouldn't have known someone who had that experience, I can't remember where we were, but every time we tried to get something to eat, we had to be very mindful of what she could and couldn't eat because she had been bit by a tick.
Yeah.
And it kind of changed. And I didn't know there was a real thing because, like, growing up in the great town of Plantersville, where we don't have a lot of much going on, a lot of wood, it's very country like, and I'm going in the house with ticks on me. Like, they've been on me and I'm having to, take them out. And so I'm saying, but I never had to change. So I didn't even think it was a real thing until she said that. And I'm like, what? She
cracks me up too because she knows so much like of these, like, talk about storing things. Like,
well, hey, it's in her. It's in her. She come from look, she's a Pyggy at heart.
Clearly Justin. I don't know how she remembers all these things. But
so he said it's Mr. Brad's son.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't have the update on that yet. I don't know if he wants his news on Created to Be podcast. But anyways, the fact that he was like, no, it's Abby's right about that.
Wow.
But ticks are weird. Those are so... It's so like invasive. I'm like, what? How did you get on my neck?
That's what I was trying to figure out. See, I think used to be why I would get, because I'm trying to figure out how did you get here, and I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like, or I wasn't even near anything. Like I don't know. It's weird. When you go in the woods, I get it. But there's been other times I'm like, I hadn't been anywhere where this should happen. Okay, so he was talking about how a few years ago, I guess this was him and his wife, because it says we led a group of about 20 college students in a year-long Bible study. And during the course of the year, they had 6 couples get engaged.
What?
And he did not set anyone up.
What?
So the nickname of their Bible study was Ring by Spring Group.
Ring by Spring.
So we talked about that term.
Yeah, that term.
And how it's like a thing. And he was saying their whole group was like that. We've had, through the years, it hasn't been as often here, but when we were serving with with FCA at Mississippi College, we had there's several people that were on our leadership team that ended up getting married.
Wow. Well, I would say I don't think that, I guess when you think about it, it's a shocker, but not as much, because when you're talking about God, you're talking about Christ, you're talking about purpose.
Right.
alignment. People start having things in common. So, that kind of, you could see that. I think Mr. Brad is putting out to everybody that, hey, he's a great hooker-upper.
Get in his group.
Hey, get in his Bible study group, and hey, you may find your spouse in his group.
Funny. So then he said Sean, his wife and him got engaged out on some family land on a picnic. So we talked about engagement stories.
Gotcha.
So nobody else knew he was asking. He paid for the ring legally. He made sure to include scalping tickets. Get this, to the 96 Final Four that MSU was playing in.
Wow.
After Sean said yes, we went straight to Duty Noble for the game that day so that we could tell many friends as possible. So anyways, but he scalped tickets to the 96 Final Four.
Hold up. So when he went to Duty Noble, was that for a baseball game or what?
Yeah, I guess so.
Gotcha. Okay.
But they had people there, I guess, that they could talk to and tell. But that's pre, Facebook, Instagram. Like, how do you get the word out? When you don't, like, have some kind of platform to share it on for people to know. So they went to
especially then.
Yeah, because Brad is just so old. No,
but but I'm gonna say this though. I think that is something that we overlook sometimes, like the different dynamics of timing. Because, like you said, like not having the social media to be able to kind of help push or promote or even connect. It's almost like, hey, it is what it is. And then you see somebody, hey, by the way, we got engaged, you know, because you don't have a way to share that. So
my mom used to tell me whenever we had kids, started having kids, she was like, you're so lucky that you have Facebook now, because there's so many times where there's just when you first have your child, especially if you're the mother, like you're at home, you're feeding the baby, you're trying to sleep because you're exhausted from feeding all the time and you got to change diapers. And anyways, so much like, there's a lot of demand. And so she was just saying how you can at least connect with people on Facebook or whatever, whereas she didn't, get to do that. Or like even Google, like having access to, if you don't know what something is, you can look it up, all those things. So I think there's pros and cons. Like,
I remember, and I'm not trying to be a damper, but I remember like my grandfather, he's 84, and he would tell me like what you said, if somebody, like he would say if somebody died, like sometimes even if they're family, they may not know until a day or two later, right? Because the word has to get to them, right? And the word would travel through like the mailman, or something like that. So fast now, like, and now it's like it's so different. And I do believe that, like you said, it has its pros and cons, but just hearing Mr. Brad's story. Like he Mississippi State through and through. Yeah. Like it's just tied into his life. Yeah. You know?
I just love how creative he was to get that money for the ring. That's so great. So we talked about vacations and vacation styles a few episodes ago. And so he submitted some of his stories, and I was just thinking about one of these I'll read, but I know of two young couples from Mississippi State that made the trip to Norman to be at the games. And when I saw Maddie Kennedy, now it's Maddie Farmer, her and Joe went, and she was on the podcast recently too. But I saw that they had like hopped in the car like the night before, I guess, that final game to like drive. And I thought, good for y'all. Yeah. Like you are young and married and no kids. This is exactly what you should be doing right now. Like go for it. And then Sierra Sacco and Kyle Ferry. So it's Sierra and Kyle Ferry now.
So the kicker.
Yes. And also Sierra she plays professional softball, but she played for Mississippi State.
Really?
So anyway, it's super cool that she could be there, right? Now. Yeah. They also went. So anyway, I just love that these two young couples like just were like, and they both drove all the way to Norman.
I wonder how many hours that.
I think they posted, I saw like the map, and it was like 9+ hours to get over there.
But I'm going to say this, is sometimes those trips as a young couple, because me and my wife have taken a few of those trips like that, those are some of the best trips because you can spend literally quality time talking about a lot of things, seeing a lot of the scenery of travel.
But what, have you taken a trip like that before?
I have taken a trip like that. But now mine wasn't as long as about 9 hours. I haven't taken one of that.
Have y'all ever just decided like, okay, we're going to you don't even plan. You're like, get in the car, we're going.
Yes, we did that to Nashville. So it's a lady there that's very dear to our family.
Okay.
And they were having her a service at a church of appreciation. And I looked at the flyer, and now it was the day before, but I looked at the flyer with no plans, and I said, "We're going here tomorrow."
Wow.
Like, we getting up in the morning,
We're doing
going here. Literally got up, packed our stuff, and we booked the hotel on the way.
Nice.
Like, so, because we, at the time we're going to get there. And so we booked the hotel on the way, and it was literally a turnaround trip. We went and got back up early the next morning and came back home. Because I had to, this is how in the moment it was. Mississippi State men's basketball team was having a scrimmage that Saturday against Troy. This appreciation for her was on a Friday night. So we got up, we decided Thursday, we doing this. Didn't go to work Friday. Got up early the next morning, booked our hotel on the way. And then we got up early so I could come back home, which is about 4.5 hours, and then drive another hour to come back at Mississippi State for the scrimmage, which was like 10 that Saturday. Yeah. Now, I will say this, I was a zombie at the scrimmage.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, I mean,
you're like, I'm hardly here.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm not. Like,
yeah.
Don't,
Yeah.
But that's why I say, though, it's great when you do that, though, because it's like, it's spontaneous. I'm a spontaneous person anyway.
Yeah.
So it's spontaneous, and then there's a lot of things that you get. Now, I would rather fly. Now, that's me. Because I like the timing. But it's a lot of things you get traveling with the conversations, like you said, with the sceneries, even stuff that you see, you go through towns you didn't even know existed.
Right.
It's just a lot of stuff you get. So I would say, like, that's a great thing for couples to do. It's a quality, it's very quality time. And then plus the experience of being at a game such as that, and they won, you get to be a part. Like, those are memories you won't be able to, can't nobody take those from you.
Yeah. So the most spontaneous that we've done as a family is that trip that we made to Hoover, which was only 2 hours from here. But what was so frustrating about them moving that game time, I had arranged for our dog to be picked up. I had got the house in order, got everything packed, because we were staying one night. And then Justin's like, kind of like, should we still go since we'd be late? I said, we're going to Birmingham. I was like, I can't cancel the hotel. Like, we're going. And then I love the things that you stumble upon. We know about this climbing gym that has a great space for kids to climb. Wow. And I was like, I'll take you guys to the gym. We get there. They're like, oh, are they students? Yeah, of course, they're in school, whatever. And then they're like, and it's half price on Fridays. Because it's normally, I was going to spend about $60-$70 on Abby and Eli to climb. Then it was like $25 for them. Now. Abby like tuckered out within 15 minutes or so. Yeah. And then she was like, but you only paid half price, right? So really you just paid for Eli today. Because she was like, she's very aware of like, I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage. Like, I want to make sure that you've paid for me, so I'm going to do this well. Like, I'm not going to, but she like arranged it in her mind where, it was like, really, you didn't pay for me. So I really can sit here. But we were watching that first game. That was great timing. They were climbing. Well, Eli was climbing, and I had the game streaming, the first game that we won. Gotcha. And I have to honestly admit, we were traveling too. So I was like watching the game a little bit at lunch and then turned it off. And then I happened to get on Instagram and I saw that we were coming back because it was looking pretty bad at the beginning because they were hitting home runs. And I was like, oh gosh, and so then it got real exciting. And so I was so thankful that I was not driving, but that we could like watch it. But I'm sure on those cameras that they have like in the climbing rooms, like we're like, oh yeah, celebrating. I'm like, maybe they know this is going on. I mean, Birmingham's not too far.
That's good though. I'm glad y'all were able to get that experience, even pushing through to still go to the game. Yeah, because I
was like, we're gonna go.
And then the pictures I saw y'all take. Yeah, like it's that experience.
Yeah, and I'm like, at least we went, so you kind of know what it is, so that if we were to plan in the future to go, like,
you know what to expect.
But they have a whole fan experience thing. We got to see the guys, and Justin's around the guys, but the kids don't always get to meet them. And I happened to have like a ball, and Ben was like, will you sign my ball, please?
Oh,
So he got like a lot of the guys to sign his ball. That was really fun. Okay, but this story that Brad told, he said that, vacations can change. We talked about that as you have kids and stuff, but that he had a trip that he took out west with his two best friends when they were only 15.
All three of them? And it was just those three?
I don't know how this worked. It says we drove. I'm going to have more questions for Brad.
Yeah, we got to. Yeah.
But, and we'll have him on here. He can clarify these things. But it's kind of fun to like comment.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We can speculate.
Yeah, have a good speculation.
And then he can listen and be like, oh, kind of like Mary Ashley was like, y'all are
so off.
so off.
So off.
Okay, we drove 45 hours straight, night and day, to northern Idaho and hunted for 2 weeks. Okay, we were following a truck with our dads. But still, it was a memory that I'll never forget. But as the family grew older, they focused on quality time more than adventure. I think that what surprises me about some of these stories that he shared is like that he's pretty adventurous.
Yeah.
Like he tells this other story about how him and his wife went to Hawaii and he wanted to take surf lessons. So he's like in his mid 30s, matched up with a 17-year-old guy on his high school, like a high school swim team. The instructor showed them what to do and they started to paddle out. The boards for beginners are huge, like 12 feet long and way wider than your shoulders. And because of that, you can't kick. And so then he said, your paddling is with your arms almost straight out, you're only using specific shoulder muscles to do all this work. So he's struggling, but the high school swimmer is just as bad, which made him feel better.
I believe.
And then after 200 yards, the instructor basically had to drag both of them out there the rest of the way. And then he said the surfing part was pretty easy. He could get up and stay as long as he wanted. But the problem was always paddling back. The hardest shoulder workout of his life. And then pretty much they were just washed upon the ashore. And let's see. He couldn't even lift his hands high enough to wash his hair in the shower or basically move the rest of the day. But he can always say he's a surfer, is what he said.
Well, I'm going to say this. He has a lot going.
Yeah, I know.
Like if you meet him, now go ahead.
I was just thinking, okay, this is totally random. I think it's Modelo commercial. Maybe it's not Modelo. There's this thing that's like, he's the most interesting man in the world. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I done heard he's the most interesting. Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad.
Oh my
when
God!
Like
I would. Yeah, you wouldn't like. And I'm saying this because when you see him and talk to him, he's such a laid back, chill,
and he serves too. So he's like behind the scenes.
He's kind of like you say. He's behind the scenes guy. He's now very encouraging. Always supportive, but you would not know he's had as many adventurous outings as he's had.
Yeah.
Because surfing, I wouldn't have.
So what I love about the comments, and this is why it's so great if people submit them, is because there's other things that will prompt, like I will remember other things. So him saying his shoulders were so sore just reminded me when we were at Mississippi College, I was younger, so like early 20s. But I went out with the cross country team to their team building, which was at this place where, like you have ropes course and stuff.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing ropes course. It was like other kind of elements. I can't think of the word that it is, but you're doing like you're on a wall, like climbing across, or you're going through a rope. It's like not military training, but
I know I can't think of the word. CrossFit.
No, it wasn't even that. And I want to say obstacle course, but that's not even a good thing either. But it was like I could run. I was in shape to probably run at the time, but the muscles you were using to get over these obstacles, and you were working as a team of like 4. Gotcha. But it was not it wasn't like typical muscles that you would use or whatever. And so I do have a funny story from one of those instances, but afterwards, we had just had Abby, so that's probably why I wasn't as in great shape either. But here I am, like trying to be this cool FCA. I don't know what I was thinking, but I go out there with him to participate in these activities. I even in basketball, playing my whole life, like I never really cramped, have muscle cramp or anything. My whole body, like I went to Justin was outside mowing. I heard Abby crying in her bed, and I went to try to pick her up to console her. And as I tried to pick her up, my whole arms just cramped up. I had to I couldn't lift her up all the way. So I put her down, and then I walk into our living room, and then something else cramped up, and I'm literally on the floor in the fetal position. Somehow Justin comes in and he hears Abby screaming, and he sees me in the fetal position, and he's like, what is going on? And I was like, I hurt so bad. The people that, if anybody from Mississippi College listens to it, they probably don't know. I tried to act like I was okay, but I could not move after that experience. It was awful.
I think that's that level of ego
Totally.
that be on the inside of us.
Totally.
I went running with a coworker the other day, and if you look at him, he doesn't look like he's in the shape he's in.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Go running with me, just because I'm trying to lose weight." Man, I got out there, and he says, "So what are we gonna do?" I said, "Bro, whatever you do, I'm keeping up. Just go ahead."
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "Okay." He give me the outline of where he runs. I'm like, "Hey, I'm here. Go ahead. I'm with you." He said, "I don't want to put too much on you. I'm steady." No, go ahead. I'm with you. Like, we gonna make it work. Man, he struck out. I'm telling y'all this. In 2 minutes, he was so far away that in my head I said, as long as I can just see him.
You start changing your expectations.
Quickly. Look, it was so bad that he got so far I couldn't see him, but
He's
I
like
see
a little speck.
What you expect, and you see okay, that's the white shirt. And it was to the point where it was like I felt like my ego and my body was fighting. Mm-hmm. Like my body is telling my ego, you need to stop. Like you can't do
just
this.
Give this up.
You gonna, because it's your mind and that pride in you. It's like, no, I'm gonna push through. I'm not gonna complain. And it's like, yeah, it was not a good idea.
Well, Justin, he was at the collegiate conference for FCA, and he last week, and he had his roommate was gonna run, and so Justin told me, yeah, I went running, whatever. And I was like, you did what? Like, because he's got some stuff going on right now. But man, this guy can just pull it out of the bag. Like I don't understand, but he was sore. He's been talking about it the past few days. I
can tell. Like Justin, he has a quiet confidence and a quiet push about himself.
Yeah.
Like I can tell, like I can pick up on his competitive nature.
Oh yeah.
Just by being around. You know who he reminds me of? The guy on Jurassic Park.
Which one? Oh gosh.
The latest ones.
Oh, Chris Pratt.
He reminds me of that, like, because like when you see Chris Pratt, but it's like when stuff starts to hit the fan, you can see that real
it comes
macho,
out.
It comes out.
Yeah.
And Justin gives me that. Like I feel like if I was to do anything, I'm serious. Like I'm around a lot of athletes, but if I was to really do anything, well, you're gonna have to have endurance. Like it's like I know he talks about himself playing basketball and different stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't even know if he's good, but I would put him on my team because I just feel like he has that competitive edge. And I would pick him on any of my sports team. Because when you're around athletes, you start picking up on who has that extra gear. It's like, you know how they say, I would take this guy to a bear fight.
Yeah.
I would take this guy Justin has that. I think what I appreciate about it, he don't show it. You can feel it though. Like you just being around a bunch of competitive athletes and just athletes in general. Because I've seen athletes who were great athletes, but they had to give up in them. It's like if you take them to deep waters, but he gives me that he's not gonna quit, and he's a winner. He wants to win. Like I'm going to do what it takes to win. I'll push myself. So I'm not shocked about him doing all this running.
I was telling him. So what you didn't get to see is that Justin he had to go take care of something real quick. Now he's back. And he walked in, of course, as we were like bragging on him. So Justin, I was telling him that you went running last week. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, really? Why? Like, because you hadn't run in a while. And then like you just pull stuff out of a bag. Like you're like, I'm going to go do this. Yeah. And so, yeah. And then I said you were talking about how sore you are, but he was saying how that didn't surprise him.
No, I wasn't surprised.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Little peer pressure.
Little peer pressure. Yeah. My peer pressure is not enough during the week.
It's a different pressure from a different peer.
Yeah. It's just another FCA staff in Clemson. He's like, I'm going to run. I'm like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
And it just so happened it wasn't hard to get up because we were right next to the weight room. The weight room is the wall next to us, and so at 5:30, 5 o'clock, you hear
clinging, yeah.
Like you hear these dumbbells banging around and stuff, and you're like, and the wall for the dumbbells is right there.
So let me ask you this honestly:
what
was it your competitive nature? You wasn't gonna allow him to do something?
Yeah, like why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, like what was it that?
I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea. Like I was, and it was funny because I was like, I need to do something on this trip. I need to like move. and our room is right next to the weight room. So to me, it
all
was just
kinds
like
of-
very obvious. Like, okay, you have no excuse. It's right there, so you should go.
And he
move.
doesn't have to take care of kids.
And then he said, just go on, like, he's going to go on a run. I'm like, you know what? I like running around college campuses in general. Auburn's pretty nice. I'm a little biased. I think we're nicer just because, but Auburn's a nice campus. So we got to run around that. And I'm like, you know what? That's good scenery.
That's one thing I do
And
like
you
about
haven't
running.
been running?
No,
I haven't been running.
no.
It was like 35 minutes. Just boom. It was all right. It's all right. Make it work.
So
He wasn't going super fast.
That's
either.
one thing that I do like about running is that when you go to places, whether college campuses or different towns, whatever, you can see a lot of things if you just, get out and run. I do appreciate that. Okay. We were talking about random trips because we're commenting on Brad's vacation and we did all that. But one of the trips that came to mind as I read Brad's story is that one kind of spontaneous, Justin had planned on doing this trip, but when we were in college, his church was taking a trip to Colorado to summit a mountain. Okay. And somebody had dropped from the trip. I'm all the way in Texas already, but he lets me know, like, there's this spot. And I think it was paid for. I just had to, get here. And we drove all the way there. And so I would say that would be a trip that was a little bit more spontaneous for me. I didn't plan it. Whoever paid, I got to go on their dime, which was really nice. But that was an experience. It was crazy.
It was a great trip. So we drove, I think we stopped at Amarillo, Texas one night. That was the first stop, I think. Then we drive all the way to Amarillo.
Yeah, I think so.
Good gosh. And so we ate at the Big Texan, which is a really cool place to have big steak and a big meal that you can eat that you can get for free. It's like $200 meal or something, but you got to eat it within 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you eat it all, you get it for free.
It's a massive deal. I remember Bethany being really, really mad at me at the Big Texan. We were in a borderline fight. Something happened.
My gosh.
We had a fight. And it was not. That's what I remember about Big Texan. But then it was a great trip up to Salida, Colorado. It was like a retreat. We did low camp and high camp. Then went up to the top, to peak of the mountain, and had some devotional time each step of the way.
We both got excruciating elevation headaches.
We got elevation sickness. I would say it was the worst headache you could imagine.
I mean, it is like
so
elevation.
Hammer. Okay, what is elevation sickness? You got to help me.
You get up there a little too quick. You're not prepared for your elevation change. You can get dehydrated very quick. And I think it was a little bit of all that. And we got down back to high camp from the peak, and our heads were throbbing.
Really?
And
I mean, it is the worst pain.
We pounded some Advil and just took a nap and woke up better. I did, at least.
But this was I had never been camping in my life, and we are literally intense.
Yeah.
We're cooking our meals out at the campsite.
Yeah, your bathroom's in the woods.
Didn't bathe for 4 or 5 days.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got the real experience.
It was great.
I don't know. I mean, it was good. I'm glad that I did it. But I was like, this is so gross. I'm so gross right now. But
I think that was the first time I farted in front of Bethany.
It was. Okay, so that's another story. We had a deal where Justin, I had heard some stories about, we won't get into that, but about...
I'm stinky.
Yeah.
Just call it what it is.
So, I mean, even so much so, his sisters were concerned he'd find a girl one day. And so we had made this agreement, which I wasn't going to have a problem with, doing that in front of him. But we were I wasn't going to bring this story up, but now that you did, I will.
This is just a big time moment,
It was a big time.
With the Pygans.
Before we were Pygans.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there. We had a
formation. Formation.
3 hour quiet time or something where we all go pick a spot and sit. So I'm sitting on this big rock with my journal, whatever. So I'm facing opposite. He's walking up behind me and just lets one rip. And I was like, he did not just do that.
And then I started stretching. I was like, what?
And then the unfortunate part of that was that he was like, well, now that I did that, doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it's broken.
Hey, that's the icebreaker.
I was like, no, let's go back to the way I liked how it was.
Unleash the fury.
Yeah, but
open the gates.
But that was definitely a young, when we were young, just a spontaneous kind of intense trip that we did. Okay, last little comment here. Have any of you been on mission trips before?
Yes.
Out of the country?
Yes.
Oh, we've talked about that. You haven't?
I haven't.
My first mission trip was Africa. This is also I don't know what I was thinking. But I mean, I love that kind of like young ignorance, though, of
just being naive.
Yeah, just go. Like, and they kept saying you're going to have culture shock. And I was just like, I mean, this again, probably ego, probably some of that like athletic mind in me. I'm like, I can do this. But it is a real thing. Like it's the combination of sights, sounds, and smells for me. Like it wasn't just what I was seeing, but they had open meat markets and the trash everywhere. Like it was just a lot. And it's really hard to put in, unless you go experience it, it's very hard to explain what that feels like when you are exposed to it.
Me and Santana was getting ready to go to, we was preparing to take a trip to Pakistan with it's a mission there with a guy that we know here. And so he was going to go, come back, and then we were going to go. And but when he was getting, the day before he was getting ready to go, some type of war broke out.
Oh, wow.
Where he couldn't go. And it was already going to be a challenge for me to go. But when I heard war broke out,
he said no.
Yeah, it's just I put the brakes on for me and her.
Right.
But at some point, because I heard that, just about the gratitude that you get for being here, because of the things that you see and experience there, and as far as different countries, like we've been to other countries, but not necessarily for mission.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go, because it's like. Not just for the serving aspect, but I feel like from the posture of the heart where it can help me. Because being in America, we're privileged with so much stuff. And the stories you hear, the things that people say, I've wanted to be able to do that at some point. I plan to do it at some point, but I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
You know. But they was like this is when you go, it's about like the stories I've heard. Don't go for, because I think sometimes what mess people up, they go for the mission, but they also go for like a vacation, like their mind is like, we're gonna do this, but we also, and it's like, no, it's real work. Like some of those places that they go, from like you said, the food that they eat, you gotta eat a lot of what's provided. And here, can I get some Big Mac sauce?
Right.
You know, we can do all of that, but there is like it's not the same. So, and I'm not saying every place is the same,
right?
But most of the people that I heard talk about missions is not like don't go in mind thinking about the vacation aspect or you sightseeing. It's really real work. It's a real lifestyle change while you're there. So
yeah, it's a major formational experience, because I mean there are things I'm just thinking of as we're talking about it that encounters, things that happen that you can't prepare for, and so you're just like in the moment having to figure this stuff out. And it was between my freshman and sophomore year in college, and I was one of the oldest people on the trip. I don't know what happened with when I applied. I thought it was a different type of trip than what it ended up being. So it was like me and a handful of college students with a bunch of high schoolers.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But, and so that's what was actually kind of challenging to me, was like, I was struggling with some of the things that we were having to do. And yet I'm like, all these other people are younger than me.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to just figure it out. And you're like, I'm the older one. I'm supposed to be like, have it more together here. But I don't. But there was so much joy in the people that were there over what they had and just their relationship with each other and stuff that it created a lot of questions in me too when I came back that I had to like wrestle through. What are you smiling at?
Nothing. I was just thinking about what you had to do. Like you were in the play. Y'all had a
we would
play
do
of
like a
sharing the
demonstration.
gospel, and you were like the seductive woman, right? Weren't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you had to act out, and I was like, whoa, that's not you at all. Like just in regards of like trying to act like
be some you're not.
Yeah.
And then we would have like the gospel beads, like the colors that we had. And I'll just say, I mean, being in Africa, you know, we would go through the colors, and the black bead represented evil and sin. And we had to use, somebody was translating with us as we would go one by one. Now think about, we are white people. They gave us this tool to use, but this guy, he said, like, when I got to the black bead and I said, like, there's evil, there's sin, whatever, he correlated it with like him being that color and this. And I'm like,
I didn't say,
I was like, oh my. So I'm like, I mean, in my head's like racing. What do I say?
Yeah.
What do I say? And I said something like, and then of course you have the translator that helps. So I don't know if the translator helped me out and said something different, but just what came to me, first thing that came to me was something like, well, it's just because sin is dark and the darkest color that we have to represent that. It's not to do with like, but I think that's what I said.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this. Now, that's one of the things I will say about going to other countries I've probably been challenged with because it's like you can say, okay. And the translator's like,
yeah.
You be like, now, I just said, okay. How did you translate all of that from just okay? Because it's like, and then you almost have to be dependent.
Yeah,
because you can't communicate, so you have to lean on.
So maybe he did me a favor. I felt like my answer was decent enough to like move past the conversation, but I was super intimidated. And then you have the language barrier. I was like, this is bad. And like, why did we not think of this? Like, I was like, what are we doing out here?
Well, he said one moment you don't prepare.
I don't. Yeah, and I remember it. But that was kind of the setup of the trip. Is we would go and do these demonstrations in the streets and then go one-on-one evangelize. But I just thought, I thought of that trip because we were talking about the Colorado trip and they both felt very extreme, having not done any smaller type trips before something that was so extreme. And I'm like, what was I? But it's probably just that, you're 18, 19 years old, whatever. And you're like, hey, let's go. I'm down.
You don't know what you're missing. Like, you don't know what you're missing. Like like I said, because I am spontaneous. So I don't like to have to always plan everything. Yeah. I feel like it's better. Like, cause you kind of feel you're on edge, right? Take it as it comes. You kind of feel on edge. You like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's see. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so it's some people can't
live like that though.
Yeah,
that's a little bit hard for some personalities, right?
Well, see, Santana is more of a planner,
but she's adventurous.
Yes, that's why I say it's kind of like, and this is the thing. I'm spontaneous, but I'm not as adventurous.
Yeah,
so it's
interesting.
But we bring a great balance, and the older I'm getting, I'm starting to. I think Mr. Brad said it earlier. Quality time, like I'm a little doing quality time as well as being adventurous because I see how many moments I missed out on. Like just not doing stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like now that I'm older, I'm trying to catch up with all of the little moments I missed. It's like, no, I'm trying to make them now. So it's like somebody could call me and be like, hey, like today is Thursday. Somebody, hey, we're going to Chicago tomorrow, but we go like, I would be open to doing it. Whereas in one place in my life, I'm like, no, where we going? But like, because I've done the spontaneous and experienced the good side of that. Now I'm like, I'm a little more open to trying it. And I would say, especially when you're young, you should do it.
Yeah. It's just so fun to see like what you end up stumbling upon. Yep. There's a great joke by Nate Bargatze that he talks about the different like 20s in your 20s, what you say when it's like that. When he's like, what do you want me to do? Burn my house down? Like I'm down. Like, let's go. And then by the time you're 40, you're like, I'm offended you even asked me to do this.
Exactly.
I got to share this story. This is one more story from Brad.
Bit from
Nate. It's so good. Look it up. Okay. He said, after hearing y'all's wild trip stories, I don't know that I can compete, but Doc's story about his friend coming back to America reminded me of this one. This cracks me up, and I have more questions. But when Sean and I were 22 and engaged, so they were young, so that's, just keep that in mind. We chaperoned a high school mission trip to northern Montana. We had a van with a dozen high school girls that we drove across the country.
Dear God.
One day, we decided to drive a mile across the Canada border just to say that we went. You didn't have to have passports to cross over. We stopped at a store for half an hour, bought souvenirs, and came back. Coming back into the U.S. was so much harder than leaving. They said unless we were the parents, all those 15-year-old girls had to have birth certificates or passports to come back in.
Yep.
So a dozen 15-year-old girls told the customs agent that Sean and I were their 22-year-old parents.
At 22.
He said, I guess I've been an outlaw ever since.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I have so many questions.
And you know what I'm glad about? I'm glad about the people that they was telling that to chose to let them go.
How in the world?
Yeah, because I'm like,
they knew they were lying.
We're not even married yet, but we adopted 15 girls.
all at the same age.
Yes.
Yeah.
12, 15-year-olds.
Is that not crazy?
Man,
Wow.
I'm serious. United States.
Look, you try to get back across that line. You do whatever you can.
See, that's why I said the United States, I love our country, but I'm going to say this. They really set you up. Because they let you leave with no problem. But
See you
coming
later.
back, oh my God. It's almost like you feel like, man, like I'm having to go through all of these different things. Like, it's me. How can I prove more?
Look, I went to the not Healthplex. That was at Mississippi College. The Sanderson. Darius, I have been in there at least 4 times to try to get a membership between last summer and this summer. And I have to say, I have successfully gotten us a family membership. But besides a blood draw, this is what I felt like they needed me to have. Like every time I went in, I was like, I'm like, there's nothing that can compete with the DMV. That's the worst. No, Sanderson, I love that place. So, and they were super sweet. So I'm not, it's just policy.
They were sweet though, so that makes a difference.
DMV
yeah.
They're like,
what do you mean
as far as like what they needed.
Yeah,
so I thought from last summer, I was like, I just have to take proof of residence, whatever, and that Justin's like that we're married. But then I go in and she's like, well, if it's a family plan, you got to have all the birth certificates for the kids and a marriage license. Like, I was like,
oh my God. Like,
so if I went in with all those birth certificates yesterday and it still didn't work, like, I don't know that we would be members today.
Yeah.
Which it all makes sense.
It does. I understand why they needed all that. But anyways, just commenting on them.
Yeah. Cause it's like when you're trying to, it's like the pressure and you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like when you leave it out, you get everybody. But when you coming back in, you can feel.
You're like, don't you remember me?
Like everybody, like even the people in line before you. Like it's like everybody got their passports out. Everybody kind of talking, but you can feel that sense of
nervousness.
Like,
nervous.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't think it was like that. And it was amazing because this guy joked the whole time. While we was in Mexico, oh, if I had to stay over here, I'll do this. If I had to stay. And he almost had to stay.
I also think that the customs pages they make you when they start handing them out in the plane before you land, I don't know if they still do that, but like it would just make me so nervous that I'd fill it out wrong.
Oh, yes.
Whatever you're going to claim.
See, ours was on the phone.
Okay.
So
yeah, so it's probably different.
Electronic.
That's how much of a dinosaur I am.
It still can be somewhat nerve-wracking.
I'm like, I feel like this could be simpler.
Yes. Because it's like you feel like if I do one little thing wrong.
It really feels like a tax return. Put 1 here, 2 here, add it up. You're like, what am I doing?
Yes, what are we doing? And because we had we had a group of about 30. So you got to think everybody's, okay, what do you put right here? So
I know.
Like we,
You're all copying each other's work.
Trying to. But it's like you said, because it's like, man, if we put one thing wrong and then somebody said,
don't put a mission trip. It's not a mission trip. It's a work trip.
Some people say, I put this.
Vacation.
And it kind of caused us to be on edge because it's like, well, I put this. And they're like, but I put that. And so now we like, oh, is this going to hinder anything? Is this going to... So it can be very, very nerve-wracking.
I think it's also intimidating when, especially if there's any... You just said the mission trip thing. This made me think of this. Like, if there are countries that are not as open to that, they might not be closed, but like not as open, right? That I remember when we landed in Africa, maybe even Barbados, that it was like...
Might have been Haiti.
Oh, maybe it's Haiti.
It was a Haiti trip.
But like you kind of get that you don't know the language and then the environment's different. And so then I'm just trying to observe what's going on. And it kind of mess with me. Like I was just like, am I in trouble? Like I'm like, But anyways, I just thought that was a crazy story.
That man said 15. That is funny. They believed him.
You know, like how we
enough.
like how you told the story about learning about how like if the towel's on the chair,
yes,
you can't. And then like when we were in South Africa, there were so many things we didn't know that is like get the phone plan, all the things, and just the fact that I could see myself at 22 having the same. Oh, it'd be so cool. You can say you've been to Canada, and just you learn things.
But Niagara Falls is isn't that on the border of what?
It's both. There's 2 sides.
So that's what I was going to say. I wonder, does that happen for them? Like, do they have to do that?
Well, I think you got to loop around a pretty good bit to get across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, like you said, is that's the reason why I was saying it. Because some people, we was in Canada, and then some people we were in It's like, okay, how did this dynamic work? But I got you.
Crazy. Anyways, this is what I mean, we won't make every episode about comments, but it does make it fun because it does provoke other memories or things like that for us that we can share that are fun. And that's what we also hope this podcast can be, is that it's a place where there might be a few of us at the table, but it's bigger than us. And so it's very fun when we can incorporate those other things because we are one big community. And so thank you, Brad, for submitting your comments. I hope that others will take note and trust us with their comments. But it's been a fun episode today. Did anybody have any parting shots?
No, I appreciate Brad. He gave us a lot of insight on who he is and what he's doing. It kind of let you see he's an adventurous guy.
Wild man Brad.
Man.
No, I said he was like, well, I did not know. Like, yes, you can say wild man Brad, but I was going to say hashtag the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah,
the commercial. What's the commercial?
Stay thirsty, my friends. Yeah.
But what is that?
It's a Dos Equis.
Okay, thank you. I knew it wasn't the Modelo. Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, I can't remember.
He is, and then Brad is so helpful. Like,
yes.
How I met him, I had a flat tire, and he helped me. He stayed out here with me all night to change my tire. And we kind of got
remember that.
Yeah, we kind of got.
He's also bussed kids over to the college getaway for us.
Yeah, he's just a great guy. And then to know that he's listening in, and being in tune with what we're doing is great. It's like he's a part without being actually physically here.
Right. So. Which he will come and have to answer for his crimes.
Yeah, and give us some clarity because some of this stuff we
need more about these 15 girls. We need to know.
Jedi mind tricks. Were you pulling at 22?
Yeah. You didn't see anything.
And I gotta
these
ask
girls are our kids.
This 45-hour drive.
Right.
I still, ever since you said that, I still been trying to wrap my head around.
We need more details.
How 45 hours?
Yeah.
Back when gas was cheaper.
Exactly.
Man, that's another topic, Justin.
I was gonna say, I had a little stress test that just came over me when he said gas was cheaper.
Well, it's been a fun conversation today. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Darius. Thank you, Brad, for participating in today's conversation. And come back and join us next week. Thanks for listening to the Created to Be podcast. To learn more about FCA at Mississippi State, visit www.msufca.org and follow us on Instagram at HailStateFCA_. If you would like to become a financial partner, visit www.fca.org/donate to sow into the work God is doing through FCA at Mississippi State.